Hello, this is Roman Budek. I'm going to show how to program the NXH3675 development kit boards and do a real quick intro, even though we have a user guide on it, but to show you how to get up and running quickly. So the development board is similar to this. It has the LPC 5514. It could be any one of those series on the device, and it could be either a dongle or a headset. What I've done is I've identified which binary file I want to go into which file. So the green goes in the LPC 55 part, the orange goes into the NXH3675. And I want to show how to do that using binaries that are printed. So maybe you had an issue with the build kit, or you just want to verify that the binary files I have are the ones that are going to work. The easy way to do it is to, first of all, go ahead and install the programs as was shown in your workspace, because that'll set up the Flash programming for you. And then we'll select whether it's the NXH3675 part or whether it's the LPC part. The LPC part projects are with hosts, so we'll select, it says SDB host, that would be the LPC part. We'll select that and then use it for Flash programming. That will set up the Flash programmer properly. And what I have in another window here is I do have the board showing up in my window, so I will go ahead and show you how it's programmed. The first part that I have is that I have the board here, and I have, this is a pointer, I have the one connector. This will be my Flash programming cable. Some early board versions, or depending on the jumper setting here, you need to apply power here. So I'll go ahead and apply power to make it easier, because it would show up as a Flash programming port as well. I'm using a USB hub, and I power it on and off with this switch. This is not going to my computer, although it could be a 4-port. Right now it's powered off of an external power supply. And this cable goes to here to do my power. This will be my programming cable that goes into my laptop. And I'll be programming this part here for the LPC part, and I'll be using this part here to program the 3675 part. You can't plug in a SWD on those to program it. This SWD will program this part here, then you can plug onto here to program the actual device, but it's easier just to use the micro that's on there to Flash program it. So I will show you how to load those up. And so what I've loaded up is my project. Let me figure out what program I want to load. So I've got the Flash programmer first plugged into here, and to power cycle it, I'll remove the USB connector, this one here, and I'll power cycle the board just to show you how it's done. So I power up this cable first, then I plug this one in. That'll find it as a Flash programmer. Could check it, but I'll just do it right in the Flash programmer. You'll see in this use case, you'll see only one Flash programmer available. And I'm doing the LPC part first, so it's in the green. So the binary, I want SDB host. So whenever there's a host, that means it's the LPC or the ML device, whatever external device to the device whenever it says host. And if there is no host after it, then it's the NXH3675 or the 2004 device. So let's go back to here and let's look at my camera. So I've got it programmed again. I'm going to be doing the LPC part. So I want to find something that has host in it, because that's the one I'm going to program. I'll just pick dongle. Now I could pick any other binary that I want, but I will pick that one, and host dongle is the one I want. Let's go back to here, go back to my camera. And so I'll pick the Flash programming icon up here. It's whenever you install MCU Expresso, sometimes it moves around on a toolbar, but look for this one. You could do a pull down, or I could just select this one directly. If I hit the icon here for programming, it would search for this particular project. I don't want to do that. I have a predefined binary. And so the first thing I notice, again, there's only, with using this method of external power up, there is only one USB programmer attached probe to the device. It's a CMSys probe. And I will hit OK on that. And now it's going to give me a programming option. When you're programming the LPC part, there's no overrides because it knows what the LPC part is. So it'll use the default reset and connect scripts for that device. You may mass erase first if you want to do that. I'll go ahead and do that just for the heck of it. This will be the file from the project. I don't want to do that. I was supplied binaries, so I will check on my file system, and I got gaming headset binaries. So on AD Let me double check that. SDB host dongle. So go back to here. SDB host dongle. So host dongle AXF. It'll find out whether it's AXF or binary or bin file suffix. I'll hit open. And that is the file it's going to use now. It's not going to use the one in the project. It's going to use the binary file that was provided. I hit run, and the first thing I'll do is see it that it's erasing. Erase usually takes a little longer in Flash programming. And over here, you can see in the green, which may be hard to see in the video, finished writing Flash successfully. So it erased it and the Flash programmed it. So now what I will do is switch around the USB port. So I'll have to watch the camera on that over here. And what I will do is, just for the heck of it, I will turn off the power. That means I'm turning off this connector. I'll unplug this cable. However, when you connect them, you want to make sure that you power up the board first. So I want this connector powered up first before I connect USB. Sometimes it works the other way around. It's recommended you give it power first and I make the connections. So what this connection is now doing, and I heard a beep on my Microsoft Windows. So this programming port is going to use this micro to program the actual device that's on the reference design module, the RDM. So I go back to here and see which part I'm going to program. So the software I want in this case might as well stay with here. So I'm going to do the dongle, any one of the orange ones I can program, but it's going to be SDP and it won't have any host after it. So I will pick SDB anyone, and just to show you that it works, I could do headset, but program in the dongle software because it really won't matter. It's the binary file that I pick. All I'm doing by picking these projects is making sure the Flash programmer is set up right. If I built the file, I would just hit go down here and do a Flash debug the project and would go ahead and load the software. But if I'm not sure that I built it right and I want to load a binary, I would do it this way. Hit the Flash GUI tool again. Oh, now the thing I have to do is the Flash GUI tool starting up here. It's communicating with the micro, with this micro that's on here. I have to put the device into programming mode, and I have to hold down the bottom button and then tap the top one. I tap it and then release the bottom one. That makes sure that the device is in programming mode. I have to do that before I start Flash programming. So okay, this was okay because this first step is only communicating to the debugger MCU. I will hit that OK. Now what you'll notice is that reset script and connect script, it's writing those for the NXH3675. So it's going to the debugger and it needs a special reset and connect script, which would have been loaded when you programmed your file. I could do a program erase first, reset the target on connection, and I don't really care about the AXF or binary. It'll find it. I'll go back to my file system. And again, the file that I'm doing is SDB dongle without the host name in it. As I mentioned, I'm using the project for headset, which is going to mean it's the NXH3675 device. There's no host, and it doesn't matter which binary, but I'm going to pick the binary that's for the specific dongle, and I'll go ahead and hit open and then run. So now it's using the binary file and just using the programming parameters from this project. If you did it right, the 3675 has 2 cores on it, so it tells me that I want to program the Cortex M0. Always pick the 01, the default one. You can see it executed the Flash, and then it's going to go ahead and Flash program it. No, a little bit. Takes a while to program this one. Erase the first, then programming it. And hit OK. And this one, end of script, means that Flash programmed it properly. And up here it says Flash programming successful. So now in order to start the board, I can unplug this cable here because I don't need it anymore. and I would go ahead and power cycle the board. Now, if I was using it as a dongle, I would go ahead and plug in this board into my USB and it would act as a dongle. But by power cycling it now, I've reset both that micro and the LPC part and the NXH3675, and it would start to run. If I want to just reset the 3675, I would hit this one and it's up and running. I would go ahead and repeat this for the next board, do the same procedure. The picture's flipped, so the LPC 5514 is here. Again, I would pick a project that has host in it, flash the LPC with the binaries that were provided, then use a non-host one to program in the headset, and now the two boards would communicate to each other. If I needed to do pairing, let me go back to the video. If I would wanted to do pairing, to erase the pairing, if I do erase all, it'll erase them, or I would hold this button and this one down, these two buttons, power cycle it, hold it for 10 seconds, and that'll erase the pairing information to allow the boards to start up from scratch. If there's any other questions, let me know. And again, I've supplied the binary files, and now you have the video. Let me know if there's any questions. Take care.